is it ever good to be deluded about something? Is it ever good to tell yourself a story that might not be totally true, but helps you in some way get through something?
I guess it depends what the goal is.
God, that is it's such a
I feel like the answer is yes. And that's what I was kind of saying about like seeing reality as it is. Like I say, start there. Start by seeing reality as it is. But there might be moments where you got to tell yourself kind of a story to get out of something.
Well, and also,
I don't know.
I would still push back against that and say, it doesn't even seem possible to see reality how it is. Isn't that still up to your subjective perspective in the end? It's still how
then that's,
I guess as best you can.
As it is doesn't mean you have a God's eye view of the world. That doesn't mean, I mean, not the way I say it. It doesn't mean be a calculator. It means if you really can put your finger on some basic or some observational truth, start there and only move when you're sure that you're sure.
So I guess that's the question though. Is
and
certainty,
if you're not, dial it back.
Is certainty like the litmus test of what? I mean, because we're almost never sure of anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But imagine imagine living in that world where everyone is like, I mean,
right.
I'm not sure, right?
Right.
Why don't I hear that more often?
Yeah,
because
definitely the opposite.
We're not, right?
Yeah.
But so I don't know. Maybe it would help to use a real time example. Trying to think of like a story. Let's take this. Somebody thinks their boss is mad at them, right? Very common story. We all have a boss. Boss's job is to be critical in some ways. So I might go to work and I might come home and go, I just think my boss has it out for me. They gave me this weird look in the hallway and they were really critical about something I just turned into them. And so you could start there and you could say, okay, well, what do I know to be a fact? I know that I show up to work on time every day. I know that I've never had a problem with my boss. Those are true. Mm-hmm. I know that I get along with my coworkers and I don't have anything that I can identify. If I'm really being honest, if I were my own boss or if I were somebody else's boss that were doing this, there wouldn't be anything that's really on the table that would get me in trouble. Okay, that's kind of a relief maybe. Is there anything I'm aware that's going on with my boss personally that would make them upset with me or in a bad mood or something? You can go there, right? And you might say, well, I'm 50% sure, I'm 50% not. But then outside of that, the only thing you really know is that today at 3:32 p.m., your boss looked at you and clenched their eyebrows together a little bit and had this kind of strange, frustrated look on their face. I have no idea what was going through their head. I have no idea why they might have done that. A lot of people do that all the time. I've gotten that look from other people in the past. With other people, it has come to mean that they were upset with me. Yet in this case, I know none of that. So what you really, really know is almost nothing about the situation. So if I'm seeing reality as it is, I might be open to the idea that it's not really up to me at the moment. And then what? And then you could do something. You could say, well, here's a possibility. I'll go to my boss tomorrow and say, hey, is everything okay? I just, saw this kind of scowl on your face yesterday, depending on your relationship with them, and ask, is there anything I can do to improve my work or something like that? But the story would keep you up at night. They're pissed off at me. I'm going to get fired. You come to work the next day and your boss comes to you and says, I'm so sorry. I got in this fight with my partner. And you're like, and all that wasted energy. Again, the pain versus the suffering.
Yeah.
It
almost seems like the way that, like you explaining that story is like a really good, people go like all the time. That is something people go through.
It's very common.
Or whatever.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. But to me, it seems like what would make sense for me to like really understand that and say, you know what, that's fucking, I get that. And I would think of it more of like, rather than try to see reality how it is, it's almost like saying, don't judge. It's almost like saying, rather than try to see reality how it is, don't create a reality that you don't fucking know anything about. You know what I mean? It's almost like where you start to get into trouble is when you start to create these stories about, oh, well, my boss did this. What is he doing this? Is it this? Is it this? Because in the end, how you still don't see, I guess it's your subjective reality. See your personal reality how it is, because at the end of the day, you don't fucking know if your boss is mad at you or not. Like, you don't know what's going on at his house or her house, what's going on with them, and if they were mad at you or if they were judging you. So it's almost like, don't start presuming, like don't create a reality. Take what you know and go from there, rather than thinking of it as like see reality how it is. But I guess that's part of it. Is
those seem synonymous to me.
Yeah, I guess
I'm not seeing the distinction, but
maybe.
Yeah, no, I think it's a different way of saying the same thing.
Same sentence.
Yeah, but
see reality as it is, and therefore don't not do that.
Right. Yeah. So just like we were just saying, how there's no one size fits all. Those are perfect examples of where you want to see reality as it is. Right. I think an example of where you might not is egalitarianism. Is a perfect example where reality is that people are not all the same. Reality is that people don't all have the same value in terms of function. Reality is that like evolution and science does not support the idea that everyone is equal in really any way. We're all very different. But we've created this sort of intersubjectively agreed upon imagined reality that, no, we are all equal in value, that everyone has something to offer. And right? That's not even totally true. And just from a rational standpoint, like scientific objective, seeing reality as it is, the secular humanist perspective doesn't see reality as it is. But it's an imagined reality that's useful, and so we all agree upon it, and it helps to make society better. So that would be an example where, as far as I can tell, we're not seeing it as it is, but we're sort of creating new realities that morph the current ones, I think, in positive ways.